Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television and this is a fresh new edition of Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Well, it's been a dream run for the stock markets here in India. The Nifty has risen 2.3% last week to extend the gains for the 8th consecutive week as well. And this is the Nifty's longest winning streak in 6 years. Now, will the Santa rally continue or is the market getting overheated now? We will tell you all, but first up the top headlines this hour. Stocks are likely to resume their uptrend on Monday as bulls control sentiment on Dalal Street and foreigners unleash their biggest single-day buying since November 30th. Blue chips are likely to lead the rally. The bull market is in full swing. Hectic trading activity is seen in high beta, low ticket size cash stocks as traders prefer to ramp up such companies on Dalal Street. Extreme caution is advised. Very good morning to all our viewers and good morning, Shail, as well. Well, since the last week of October, Shail, since the time this fresh rally started, we've actually seen the Nifty gain now 2,500 points. And that's a stupendous run-up already. But do you think this rally has more legs to go in the last 2 weeks of 2023? Or are we going to see some profits being taken off the table now?
Good morning, Sakshi, and a very warm welcome to all of you who've joined us on this fresh Monday week. Absolutely right. 7th week of gains is what we have seen, Sakshi, so far. And a stupendous rally on both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Both of them now at record highs. And of course, the broader market also rejoicing. Lot of things, you know, a stable macro, a fabulous electoral win by the ruling BJP in 3 electoral states, as also a huge return of foreign institutional investors. So Sakshi, my understanding is that this rally will continue all of December, but you just might see some phases of consolidation, probably one beginning today. The GIFT Nifty, as you know, is giving an indication of opening the main Nifty somewhere like 50 points lower, but given the strength of the bulls, one must understand that any dip towards say 21,400, 21,350 will again be purchased by bulls, and the momentum, Sakshi, is very strong. The only point that I'd like to mention is foreign institutional buying. The one on Friday, hold your breath, was 9,239 crores. This is the highest since November, which was November 30th, which was 9,734 crores. Very intense bout of foreign buying on domestic shores and especially on blue chips has resulted in the Nifty at 21,450. Friday's rally was a super breakout, and today let's see what happens, but I would imagine that you'll see good consolidation happening. And I'd like to mention the point that 2,600 points have been added on the Nifty since October 26th. By any stretch of imagination, you should have a consolidation phase for a week or two, but the rally has very strong legs. When foreigners buy to the extent of 9,200 crores on a single day, it points to blue chips being the flavor of next week. And we've seen a very strong buying enthusiasm in TCS, in Infosys, in HCL Tech on Friday. That's most likely to continue. Any intraday purchase is likely to be, any intraday dip is likely to be purchased by Nifty bulls, but buy and hold, Sakshi, is a far better strategy on the index to make supernormal money, and that's how the index is structured. Last week the Nifty added 2.2%. In the month of December, it's already up 6.3%, and year to date, Sakshi, hold your breath, an 18% rally on the index so far, and we still have 2 weeks to go. Santa is still to visit Dalal Street, but I think he's staying here.
Okay, Santa is staying here, and that's good to know. Apart from that, of course, some bit of consolidation. But when we talk about the Nifty Bank also, Shell, major part of Nifty's outperformance in the recent run-up has also come in from Nifty Bank, which is now gained in 4 weeks in a row. And since mid of November, the index has rallied close to 5,000 points as well, and even has now closed above the 48,000 mark on Friday. Your own sense of how the Nifty Bank will pan out for this fresh and new week?
So, Sakshi, like I said, there has been a very, very sharp enthusiasm shown by foreign institutional investors into domestic markets, and they are crazy about 3 or 4 sectors, especially in the large cap space. Banks is foremost among them. So, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, State Bank of India, all at record highs. HDFC Bank trying desperately to sort of catch up the momentum. In December alone, Bank Nifty is up 7.9%. Yesterday's close, which is Friday's close, was above 48,000. And so far in December, the Bank Nifty has added 3,566 points and a phenomenal 1.6% uptick last week. My understanding is with a bout of mild corrections, dips and consolidation phase, Sakshi, you'll see 50,000 on the Bank Nifty soon. And that's the momentum that's driving not only the Bank Nifty as also the Nifty too, because 35% of Nifty is financials, and adding to that Nifty's flavor is the IT stocks. We've seen a record high on HCL Tech. TCS, most likely this week you'll see a record high, and of course Infosys, while the record high is far away, but it's doing pretty well. I would imagine the only laggard here is HDFC Bank as far as the Nifty and the Bank Nifty is concerned, but when super tankers move, they move like kings. Let's hope that time comes soon. Overall, the market is firing up. You need to be fairly careful on the long side. Keep stop losses close to current market prices. But if you really want to ride this rally, which has very, very strong legs, then Sakshi, buy and hold is the best.
Buy and hold is the best. Words taken right there. On the F&O space now, Shell, what are you watching out for? Any particular stocks that you have on your radar today?
Sakshi, it's the usual suspects. I would imagine you still have a lot of rally left in IT, and it's a fairly, how should I say, simple logic here. I'll give you that. See, you have a record high on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, as also on many sectoral indices like the auto, FMCG, realty, pharma, so on and so forth. Of course, the mid cap and the small cap indices have also been at record highs. Now look at the IT index. It is still 10% below its all-time high of, I think, 38,350. And that is something which will sort of get paired. So my understanding is that TCS and Infosys are 2 of the best stocks to bet on the long side. And maybe, of course, after a bit of a correction. But these 2 in the large cap space are the ones that haven't sort of given that kind of a rally. Let me just give you some data on TCS and Infosys. Let's see if I'm able to rustle it up very, very quickly. I just want to show you how much of these stocks have risen year to date. Just give me a while. I should have prepped this data, but my apologies. Okay. Infosys, Sakshi, year to date is up just 3.6%. TCS, of course, is up 19%. The Nifty is up 18%. So if Infosys is an index heavyweight with the extent of 10 odd percent of weightage or maybe 9 odd percent of weightage, then there has to be a catch-up rally of the Infosys in relation to Nifty. So Infosys is something that I'm looking at. TCS, of course, has moved up substantially. But if you see the tech pack within the Nifty, it hasn't done much in comparison with all the other players in the sector. So that is something that I'm looking at. And of course, like I always say, high beta, low ticket. Chota
Perfect.
packet, bada dhamaka. That is
Right.
what is moving the market, and that is what is looking at. What do you think are the moves which you are getting from overseas, and what are the stocks to watch?
All right. So global cues actually suggest that the S&P 500 ended a choppy session, little changed on Friday, but definitely registered a 7th straight week of gains and its longest winning streak since 2017. And this was after the dovish pivot by Federal Reserve that the US markets got this fresh pivot. And you actually saw both the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq also positive in trade as far as the Friday session is concerned, but definitely closed higher for the third session in a row as well. For the Dow, it's gained 2.9% the entire last week. Nasdaq climbed 2.8%. S&P also added about 2.5% in trade. Asian markets, they're actually mixed in trade after opening slightly low in trade after the US markets did show some consolidation as well. Right now, the Nikkei is down by 1%. You see Kospi up in trade and Shanghai up in trade. Hang Seng is also down by about 0.6%. And trends in the GIFT Nifty now suggest that the Nifty may see an opening which is absolutely flat. In fact, right now it's showing a 38 points of an uptick, 21,493. So we'll continue to watch out for that as well. Stocks, FII flows, as Shail was pointing out, they have been big support. They bought in shares 9,239 odd crore rupees worth of stocks, on Friday's session. Of course, domestic investors sold about 3,077 odd crore rupees. But when we talk about the stocks, there are several stocks that you have to keep in mind. Z Entertainment, that's requested Sony to extend the effective date of merger. The stock will be in focus. Mazicon Dock, it signed a $42 million contract with European client. The stock will be in focus. Vedanta, board is going to be meeting for considering interim dividend. Keep an eye out on this one too. Insecticides India, the government has granted a patent for invention to the company's salt as well over there, and the grant for the term is about 20 years starting November 29. Positive for the company. Tata Power, the subsidiary, solar system signs 418 crore rupees contract with NTPC to supply 152 megawatt of DCR solar PV modules, and that's going to be positive. PB Fintech, here Softman Funk has sold about 1.14 crore shares worth about 914 crore rupees. This is the stock will be in focus in today's trade. But let's welcome our guest on the show as well. We now have A.K. Prabhakar, who's the head of research at IDBI Capital, joining us on the show. Very good morning to you, Mr. Prabhakar, and thanks a lot for taking the time out for this discussion. You know, we've been celebrating this stunning rally on D Street until so far. What is the sense that you are getting now? Do you think this rally has more legs to go?
Good morning. Thanks for having me here. I think so. There are many pockets which have not rallied. Some time back, Mr. Shailendra was saying IT has still not rallied. I agree fully with him. IT, has underperformed for the last 2 years. So I think there is huge scope. There are many segments which have not rallied. It is selective stocks which have rallied. So there are pockets where those sectors have corrected for multiple reasons, and there are huge value there. So we have to be positive on the market for the next 1-2 years.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Prabhakar, and what a pleasure to host you today. There was a purpose in requesting you to join us, and the purpose is fairly clear, which is you are a value picker. Despite the enthusiasm in the market, it does not impact you that we have rallied for 7 continuous weeks, and you will only speak about stocks that still have value around them, despite the roaring bull market. So, Mr. Prabhakar, on December 18, when the Indian market is the toast globally, what do you like?
So there are few stocks which I like. The first one is NMDC. The market cap is 57,000 crores, and their net profit FY23 is 5,600 crores. Now the company has a EBITDA margin of 40% around, and they have diversified away from India. That is the most important thing. They have mines in Australia where they will start mining gold, lithium, and few other metals also from Australia. And here FY23 they did 40 million metric ton of iron ore, which will be scaled up to 47 million metric ton this year end. So that is more than 15% growth. And the kind of cash which this company throws is excellent. Almost 14,000 crore is the free cash flow they have. So now I think for a 57,000 crore company, the kind of cash they are generating, I think, beyond their capex, the dividend yield is going to be more than 5%. So I think there is scope for this stock to outperform the market.
Okay. Um, Mr. Prabhakar, I also wanted to understand from you. Of course, we will keep an eye out on the stocks that you have talked about. But are there any two themes that you're betting big on for 2024? Because we are just in the last few days of 2023. Everybody is now preparing for how to invest and where to put in money for the new year now. So, where exactly would you be putting in fresh money?
Yeah, no, gas stocks have corrected for few reasons. Due to Delhi, EV policy, the gas stocks have corrected. Mainly CGD gas stocks have corrected. So IGL, Gujarat Gas, MGL have corrected. There, we like MGL and GAIL, as a best pick. Now MGL, the market cap is just 11,600 crores, and the first of, they have made a profit after tax of 700 crores. And gas prices have come down, which is likely to benefit MGL in a very big way. So the full year profit after tax should be around 1,400 crores, around that. So now if you take, it is trading below 8 times, the forward earnings. So I think, their dividend in the last 3 years have been ranging around 25, 26 rupees, which is 2.2% yield for their current market price. Due to what is happening in Delhi, MGL has corrected, but they are growing their customers, they are growing their business. So I think, volume wise, even if they grow 6-7%, their profit wise, they will be growing higher. So MGL is one topic, and even GAIL, we feel, it has underperformed the market, and there is with their margins have come down due to Russia-Ukraine war. So that is likely to improve as gas prices have come down. So GAIL and MGL will be a topic in this space.
Okay, GAIL and MGL, those are the two stocks that you're picking up, and we will continue to focus on them as well. Mr. Prabhakar, one more question on the primary market space as well. What a stupendous rally this space also has been showing. Last three IPOs, they got oversubscribed hugely, especially DOMS that got 93 times subscription as well. And now we have a fresh week and about 7 IPOs that will be opening up this week as well, with 3 of them opening in today's trading session too. So Muthoot Microfin will be the first one that's opening today. Jaipur-based jewelry retailer will also be opening, Moti Sons. And apart from this, there's a Mumbai-based retailer, real estate developer that is opening up as well. How are you looking at this entire IPO space action? And is this also a space where investors should be looking at putting in money?
For me, I'm a value picker. So IPO doesn't fit my bill because I don't get enough data to understand those segments or those stocks. So I give a pass for IPOs.
Let's use your market intelligence at this point of time. 9,200 crores odd came by foreign institutional investors on Friday. Where do you think this money went?
So, a part of it would have gone to IPOs and part of it to ETF. So that is why index has moved up very fast. So, I think, ETF is something where foreign investors come into India. So that is where large cap has started to perform.
Okay, so ETFs is where the money has gone in. That's a sensible thought, because that's the easiest way to make quick money in a roaring bull market. You've mentioned NMDC, GAIL, and Maharashtra and Mahanagar Gas as your picks for the time being. Mr. Prabhakar, if we were to force you to choose, the least expensive stock in the Nifty which might outperform in the coming weeks or months, what would that be?
Last 3 years, LTI Mindtree has not performed. The reason being the merger between LTI and Mindtree. So it is an underperformer in last 3 years. So I think LTI Mindtree now in the next 1-2 years should start to perform. So I think that is where my bet is there in Nifty stock.
Okay. Right, Mr. Prabhakar, another thing that you were mentioning a little while ago on the IT space. So I wanted to take that space also forward. Over last Thursday and Friday, we did see that Nifty also got a tremendous leg up from the IT stocks. The Nifty IT index ending 4.5% higher, adding to Thursday's gain of 3.7%. So last two sessions, it's up by 7 odd percent, and making its best weekly advance in 3 years. Do you now see the IT space taking the lead? And if yes, apart from LTI Mindtree, from the mid-cap IT space as well, where would be your top bets coming in from?
Yeah, last time we mentioned Newgen and BSO. So this time we will have Zensar technology. Zensar has not been performing for the last 6 to 8 months, but here I think there can be a rating upgrade. So Zensar would be my pick in the mid-cap space.
Zensar Technologies. What is the target here for you, sir, on Zensar?
So I think it is a re-rating candidate. 700, 750 would be a possible target.
750. And this will be for a period of 12 months to 18 months.
12
Okay.
months.
All right. Fair enough. What we'll do is we'll quickly take a very, very short break right here, Mr. Prabhakar. When we return, of course, the pre-market opening action and more stocks and sectors to discuss with you. Stay with us.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Good morning, welcome back to Market Today. In conversation with one of the finest value pickers in the market, that's Mr. A.K. Prabhakar from IDBI Capital. So far we've discussed L&T Mindtree, NMDC, Gas Authority of India, Mahanagar Gas, and of course Zensar Technologies. A very quick view, Mr. Prabhakar, on banks, mid-cap, small-cap, large-cap, PSUs, private banks. Any one bank that you like which is still underappreciated by the market?
I still feel Union Bank is something where there are a lot of things happening, and the management is a bit aggressive. So there it is just trading at one-time book, and the collection, the return of book collection, what the management expect is almost 9,000 crores. So if that happens, then this stock could give another 20-25% return in the near term. Near term for me is 12 months. So
okay, 128 rupees is where Union Bank shut shop on Friday, and a 1 year target is another 25%. But remember, that's what value picker says, so you have to be really enthusiastic about it. Let's look at the pre-open trades. At the moment, the Nifty is opened 0.5% higher, 21,560. There is no let up in demand as far as frontline counters are concerned. Let's look at where HDFC Bank is. Good, 1.6% higher, 1682. ICICI Bank 0.7% higher, 1045, fresh high. Let's look at TCS and Infosys. Both of them are up at least 0.6%, which is a very good sign. Remember, we are tracking TCS, which has an all-time high of 4041 so far, and we'll see how this stock performs. How about Reliance? Flat, 2495. How about let's look at Bajaj Finance, 0.7% higher, 7569. So at the moment, a very strong uptick coming on the Nifty. Let's see how long it holds. We'll shift focus for a quick while on F&O space and see what are the stocks that are moving. But I'd like to highlight sugar space for you. Renuka Sugars 17% higher, 55 rupees. Balrampur Chini 10% higher, 423. Praj Industries 582, 7% higher. Triveni Sugars 368, 8.7% higher. This is because the government has to some extent rolled back its very how should I say strong ruling on the industry in terms of ethanol usage, and that is a part which is now reflecting fairly strongly on sugar stocks. F&O again, let's go to that space. Balrampur Chini is the top gainer, 9% higher, 419. BEL, no let up, fresh record high, 3% higher, 174. Tata Power, 2% higher, 340, record high. Ambuja Cement, 2% higher, 535. Zydus Life, 2% higher, 658. Fairly strong moves coming in. Top losers, Z Entertainment, down 10%. News that merger with Sony as well has been shifted. The date seems to be pushed forward. Let's see what happens. JSW Steel 3.5% lower, 835. Granules and ITC are down about 1% each. There are not many losers, so we'll focus on top gainers as well. And again, shift focus to NSE 500. What else do we see? Dividend payout in Mazgaon Docks 4% higher, 2169. What else is moving? Sakshi, anything that you see?
Percent. That stock is up in trade. We also have a lot of stocks moving in the Nifty 500 basket. Like I can see 361 Warm, that's up in trade. Aarti Industries, that's up in trade. We also have Aarti Drugs, that's moving up in trade right now. ABB India, that's another stock that's moving up in trade. Mazagon Dock Shipyard, that's up by 4%. Remember, I was talking about the news flow over there. It's up by 4%. Strong move coming in on that one. We also have some of the Adani Group stocks coming back in flavor. We will focus on them too. Adani Enterprises, Adani Green moving stronger as well. Adani Power moving up in trade too. So those are some of the other stocks that are moving up in trade. Mr. Prabhakar, what would you say on the opening levels on the markets, and where exactly would you now be putting in your focus?
No, it is very difficult. Intraday, I cannot understand things. But last time when I was in the channel, we talked about Tata Power. The move has been very good. We still are very positive on Tata Power. Today you mentioned that it is up 2%. So it is. This is one stock which can outperform the market.
Okay, Tata Power, that can outperform. What is the next target that you're looking at for Tata Power? It's 340 right now, 2% higher.
Last time we said, from last level, it might double in 3-4 years. Now, as their revenue is likely to double, that is what management commentary is. Their EBITDA will double and their net profit will double. So, that means, I expect the net profit to more than double. That is why I said it can double from those levels. I think that time it was 275 or 280. I don't recollect it rightly. So, from that level, it can double. So, that should be around 560, 570 around levels.
Okay, fair enough. And on what Shell has really pointed out, Shell, kudos to you to finding out that sugar stocks are going to be the flavor of the day today. All the stocks are up into the green from the sugar pack after government has reversed the ban on sugarcane juice to make ethanol, and you can see stupendous returns coming in on most of them. Mr. Prabhakar, which one would you go with after this kind of a decision has been taken?
First stock will be always Balrampur Chini. The second will be EID Parry. Now, we have discussed EID Parry in the last two instances where it holds 56% stake in Coromandel. So, the valuation for EID Parry is just 9,500 or 9,800 crores, where 18,000 crores is the value they hold in Coromandel. So, I think holding company valuation only we have given. Sugar company and specialty chemical we have not given. So I'm very positive on EID Pal. Balrampur Chini will be the best in the sugar space and ethanol space.
About Mr. Prabhakar is very simple. Of course, he's a very modest man who gives long term targets about quality stocks. Uh, what you need to note down is the stocks that he's choosing and pay attention to them on how they are doing on the technical charts. So you will have good fundamental strong stocks, one, which are in deep value despite record highs, and you can track them technically. So EID Parry, I again repeat his list: EID Parry, Tata Power, Union Bank, Zensar Technologies, NMDC, GAIL, and Mahanagar Gas. So these are the 7 stocks that you have to look at as far as Mr. Prabhakar is concerned, and then we'll pay attention to them on the technical charts. 907 trades have settled. Let's see what is the PSU basket doing in terms of gainers. Sakshi, good news. Indian Renewable Energy, IREDA, 5% lower, 102. The reason why I say it is good news is because finally there is some sensible uh, price correction, profit booking happening on this one. This was very, very necessary because it was unnecessarily getting younger and inexperienced investors and traders into the stock. This is a good development that there you have decent profit booking on this one. Stocks that are up, okay. Telecom will be in favor because the parliament will see the tabling of the telecom bill. So ITI Limited 2.5% higher, 305. MTNL 2% higher, 3450. Remember, I'm marking stocks. I'm not saying that you should be buying them. JK Bank 1.56% higher, 130 almost. And you have a strong uptick in Gujarat Gas 1% higher. Okay, what are the top gainers in the NSE 500 list minus sugar stocks? Okay, EID Parry 3.5% higher, 571. Interesting. I had to mark this one. What else? Sakshi, it's the same list. It's getting a bit repetitive. Let's look at what the Adani stocks are doing. And the top gainer here is Ambuja Cement, 1.8% higher, 532. Mr. Prabhakar, any view on cement? Anything that you like in the top line, in the top flight stocks, and maybe a view on Ambuja?
No, cement is something I don't track personally, so I will give a pass there.
Okay. Right. Mr. Prabhakar, let's look at a few stocks from the shipping list. Mazagon Dock, I already mentioned that's up. Now, Great Eastern Shipping Company is also up by almost 2%. We also have Cochin Shipyard that is up almost 1% in trade as well. Tell us your own sense of how are you looking at this shipping space, and which would be your top pick from here. The space has definitely outperformed, but does it have enough legs to even perform or outperform in the new year too?
Yeah, we feel so. We need to understand Cochin Shipyard, expansion, is doing very good. They have a Udupi unit, and their, other units, where the expansion is going on, which will come on steam in, calendar year 24. So I think, and they have tie-up with the European companies for green energy. So I think, Cochin Shipyard is one of our favorite. Masgond shipyard, their order book officially is 40,000 crore, but they seem to be waiting for another 80,000 crore order book, which makes it 1,20,000 crore order book. So I think both these cannot be missed. Yeah, there can be an odd correction in the next 6 months. No, but that could be an opportunity to buy. No, these are companies which have an execution timeline of 4 to 5 years. So there is no hurry to buy. It could be a SIP stock. I'm not saying in 24 it will do very good, but over a period of time, these two stocks will do very good.
Okay. The Nifty right now is looking at 21 points of a decline at 21,434. We also have another guest with us now joining in. Akshay Bhagwat, he's a Senior Vice President, Derivatives Research at JM Financial Services, also now joining in. Akshay, very good morning to have you with us. It's always a pleasure. Tell us, what are you looking at? Are you looking at the sugar stocks to trade today? Are you looking at any other space that you can talk to us about?
Good morning, Sakshi. Thanks for the invite. Well, for the markets, I'm looking at State Bank of India, the PSU Bank, which has registered a very strong breakout on Friday's trade. If you look at the kind of momentum the stock picked up once it got past the 625, 627 odd zone, it's been a very strong upswing backed by strong long additions in the derivative segment. Even deep OTM calls have been noting strong buying in the derivatives of futures and options segment. So I'll be keen on State Bank of India as a buy recommendation for intraday or short-term trading. 645, 646 is where the opening suggests. It can easily move till around 657 to 660 for day trading. On the positional front, 675 are the possible targets. So 630 is the support now, and I hold a positive view in State Bank of India.
Fair enough. State Bank of India may looking at a 0.25% fall right now, but may move into 670, 657 and 675 in the positional trade right now. From the sugar space, any stock that you would want to track? We are looking at Balrampur Chini, EID Perry, that's 3.5% higher in trade. Sri Renuka Sugar, about 8% higher in trade as well. Balrampur Chini, 6.5% up in trade. Any particular stock that you would like to chase the momentum in?
Momentum chasing can be good in Dhampur Sugars and even
Okay.
Balrampur Chini. If you look at Dhampur Sugar, the broader charts are not that disruptive as the other sugar stocks took a hit in the recent few trading sessions back. I believe 280, 85 would be the short-term trading targets, but one thing is clear that 245, 250 is a very strong base area for Dhampur Sugar, and positionally, I look at targets for 310. So short-term trading 280 and positional targets 310. And the other stock is Balrampur Chini, where even we have a buy report for our clients at JM Financial, and we believe the downside is capped in this stock, and at 400 is a very good level to buy. So it's bounced from those levels, a strong opening. You can consider buying this, but this would be more of a positional trade, not a trading bet. I look forward to targets at around 450 to 460 odd levels from a time horizon of 1.5 to 2 months.
Okay, very warm welcome to you, Akshay. And Sakshi, what is a bull market with a little bit of sweetness? So that's the reason why you see sugar coming back into focus. One more stock that I'd like to mark is Solar Industries. Remember, this is the explosives maker that had an unfortunate incident over the weekend. At least 5 people have died on the factory because of some explosion. You need to keep that one in mind. 7% lower as far as the price is concerned, 6349. Okay, let's get ready for a fresh Monday. Remember, 7 weeks of continuous rally on the Nifty so far. We are at a record high level, and there is so much of enthusiasm for stocks from every side that it defies logic and it defies common sense. Anyway, a downtick of 44 points, 21,404 on the Nifty. Nifty Bank opens 0.5% lower, 47,910. The IT index is 0.5% lower, 200 points down, 35,563. A very quick look at what the market is doing in terms of index heavyweights. Infosys down 1%, 1563. HDFC Bank flat, 1655. Let's look at Reliance Reliance is again flat 24.92, which is the top gainer in the index heavyweight. Bajaj Finance, so it's not going to be an index day, 7531. We'll shift focus immediately to FNO. Balrampur Chini, ladies and gentlemen, 6.8% higher, 412. It's recouping a lot of its gains. Mannapuram 1% higher, 174.30. BEL 0.5% higher, 160, 170. Lupin 1.6% higher, 1265. We'll shift focus immediately to NSE 500. The Nifty is now down 82 points to 1378. Is this the beginning of a correction? Let's see how it is. Okay, sugar all the way. Balrampur Chini, Renuka, Triveni, Praj Industries, EID Parry up between 5 and 7% respectively. Huge volume and a fabulous breakout. Let's look at stocks in the NSE 500 which are at an all-time high. Zensar Tech, something that Mr. Prabhakar had marked, 605. BDL and BEL, these are the ones that are panning out. Akshay, very quickly to you, is this the beginning of a correction? Would you want to buy 21,400 put on the Nifty for December 21?
Good morning, Shailji. Yes, I agree with the view you presented. A very overstretched market, beyond limits, I may say. Well, if the put would reward you for day trading, I have a slight doubt on that, but definitely it does make a lot of sense to go for buying in put at the current level. Yes, I would be comfortable to buy the puts, the strike which you mentioned, but the stop loss I would maintain is the day's high, that's on Friday's day's high, which is roughly around 21,550 odd level. So with the stop loss of 21,550 basis spot, you can buy the put for the main December expiry. Consider a small correction. If it matures, then 21,200 can be your short-term target area. So yes, I would be comfortable with the put recommendation at the current zone.
Okay, let me, Sakshi, mark a couple of stocks. I'll give it to you. Just a moment, please. Solar Industries, 8% lower, 6334. This is the top loser in terms of price and in terms of volume. As far as NSE 500 is concerned, you need to watch this one. Let's look at what else is moving in the FNO space apart from sugar, and it's Lupin. 2% higher, 1272. A very quick view on Lupin, Akshay, what would you do?
Well, I believe if there can be some bit of a profit taking in the markets, immediately you might see the money flow moving to the pharma stocks. Lupin here has seen a strong positive open today. It's trying to move out of a consolidation range of 1240 to 1260, which it has been since the last entire week. So yes, Lupin has seen a strong momentum pickup. This momentum pickup gives us trading targets till 1325. That's a short-term trading target, but I would be keen on targets till 1375. So I would consider buying Lupin. The support area is 1250 with a target horizon with a target of 1375.
Okay, so sectorally also speaking, all the sectors barring healthcare, consumer durables and autos, they're down in the red, including the mid and the small caps as well. So the front line, the broader markets, they're all down in trade. The Nifty Bank also down in trade. So it is looking like a day of consolidation, like Shail was talking about, that how it can pan out. Barring the sugar space, which is completely sweet, the rest of the sectors are still mild. Let's talk about the stocks that are gaining strength on the Nifty, however, despite the overall muted trend. Auto stocks, Bajaj Auto, top gainer 2.4% higher at 64.21. Eicher Motors at 41.52, 2.2% higher. Hero MotoCorp, the third gainer from the auto space, 0.8% higher at 39.27. Apart from this, we also have Titan, that's inching up 1% higher, 36.34. You also have Sun Pharma, 12.45 at 0.8% of an uptick. Dr. Reddy's follows, 0.7% higher in trade. Divis Laboratories from the healthcare pack, 0.7% higher in trade as well. Bajaj Finance, a big mover, 75, 70 kind of levels coming in for this one too. All right, Akshay, auto space, how would you trade the two-wheeler stocks? Bajaj Auto, Eicher, Hero Moto, all of them up in trade.
Yeah, it's about chasing momentum. Yes, Auto Pack would be the best bet. Hero Motocorp is one of the names where we did see a very strong uptick in the last few trading sessions. Today started off well, so it's more about chasing the momentum. I would really not be keen on keeping a positional target here. So at 3920, where Hero Motocorp trades, probably it might move up till 3975 to 39790. That's a short-term trading buy. And the support area which I look forward to is 3850. Bajaj Auto from the two-wheeler space is another momentum chasing stock. Got past its prior day high. The momentum is strong. Options data is seeing strong additions in OTM calls. So yes, 6550 to 6600 would be your targets. The support base I see is 6300.
Okay. On Bajaj Finance, let me take your view. Now, at 75.72, it's up 7% in the last 1 month. 5 days also, some momentum has been building up. Would you buy the stock at 75.72?
If you see Bajaj Finance, it's been kind of a subdued stock in this entire proceedings in the market in the last few trading sessions. So yes, this is the stock on my buy watch list because this is kind of trying to stage a possible reversal, as I understand in the last 2 to 3 trading sessions. Long additions are piling up from the levels of 7400 to 7450. Derivatives data also is hinting buying in deep OTM calls. Support base is building up at 7400, going by the put writing at that particular strike. So yes, Bajaj Auto would be on my buy watch list. I would keep a target from a weekly perspective till 7850 to 7900. That's the target area I would work with. Support is 7400 and considering this as a buy trade.
Okay, Mr. Prabhakar, before we let you go, sir, would you hold a view on Bajaj Finance and maybe Geo Finance? Views on both, and which one would you add to the portfolio if we were to force you?
No, here it is, when it is forced only I can comment. No, Geo Finance I'm not comfortable because, I don't know, when their lending will start, what will be their book, everything is in a bind, so I prefer Bajaj Finance better than Geo Finance. Geo Finance, now due to the promoter category, it is favored by the investor, but when you grow your book, it takes at least 2-3 years. I don't think I have to put my money and lock in for that time period. I think Bajaj Finance is a better bet there.
Okay.
Okay, with that, Mr. Prabhakar, thank you so much for joining us. It's a wonderful session, and from your side, we'll remember, as I repeat, NMDC, Gas Authority, Mahanagar Gas, Union Bank, Zensar Technologies. What else was there? I've written them down.
City Union Bank, EID Perry.
These are the 5 that I could declare. City Union Bank, EID Perry and Tata Power. So these are the 7 stocks we'll remember from you, sir. And whenever you are back, we'll definitely do a Q&A on those. For the moment, Sakshi, as we had mentioned, the buy on dip is working very well. The low for the Nifty was 21,365. It's bounced very sharply from there. At the moment, 21,441. It's reclaiming all the morning losses that have happened, and that's doing phenomenally well. Anything that catches your fancy, Akshay, that we may have missed but you have caught?
State Bank continues to be the stock on my top priority watch list. Besides State Bank, if you are keen, then pharma stocks, they have picked up strong momentum in the opening trades. So Sun Pharma is one stock you can consider here. Sun Pharma has a strong chart setup, and it's trying to break out of a consolidation of 1240, 1250. Till now, the momentum is strong. The breakout may target 1280. So Sun Pharma would be a buy with a support of 1240. You can target 1280.
Okay.
Okay, Sakshi, I think we need to mark IT stocks. They are running away. For the moment, HCL Tech, TCS, Infosys at day's high. And remember, the IT index had opened 200 points lower. Well, that's now 150 points higher. So it's a swing, and perhaps that's the reason why the Nifty is also heading towards the green, now down just 7 points. In a very few seconds, you'll see Nifty in the green. Akshay, very quick view on TCS. What do we do?
TCS is IT is the momentum story, and clearly, it's about riding the momentum here. 4,000 is the possible level I foresee in TCS. 3914 is the current rate. So yes, 4,000 might be on in the intraday trades itself. Consider buying it, and this might be rewarding in day trading itself.
Okay. Akshay, I'm glad that you were pointing out on the healthcare pack. The Nifty Healthcare Index is the top mover today, 1% higher in trade. And we have a lot of stocks in the F&O space also that are catching my attention. Zydus Life Sciences, it's up by 3.5% today. We also have Laurus Labs, that's up by 2%. Glenmark Pharma up by 1.7% higher in trade as well. Divis Labs is again up by 1.5 odd percent. You did talk about Sun Pharma, but any of these names that are moving up in the F&O space that look promising?
Yeah, from the pharma space and healthcare space, it is first is Divi's Lab. Again, Divi's Lab is trying to kind of reverse from the consolidation area of 3,700. The opening has been good. The momentum will, however, catch up later, but this is a good stock from a risk reward payoff from where it trades currently. 3,850 is the target I'm working with at the current juncture with a support base of 3,650. The second stock from the pharma space would be Glenmark Pharma here. 836 is the current rate. This stock is set up for the upper end of the trading band, which is roughly around 8,670 odd area. The support base is 800, so consider buying Glenmark Pharma for a target of 870.
Fair enough. Well, the bulls are not leaving the ground as yet. You can now see the Nifty back into the green, 21,456 being seen on the index right now. A lot of buying from the lower levels is happening. Even the sectors along with the healthcare that we pointed out, consumer durables, IT, auto space, oil and gas, apart from the broader markets, the small caps and the mid caps, they're also inching up higher. The Nifty Next 50 up into the green, the Sensex back into the green as well. So a lot of action is picking up pace. So we will continue to discuss all of this and much more. We'll take a very short break right here. When we return, more stocks and sectors in discussion with Akshay.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back. You're watching Market Today with me, Sakshi and Shail Bhatnagar. Also with us is our guest, Akshay Bhagwat, who's discussing a lot of stock ideas. Akshay, the next stock coming your way for your view is Titan, 3652. Stupendous rally, record high levels continue for this one. Would you still buy this stock?
Yeah, I would still buy this stock. The technical setup is still positive. It's been in a slight range in the last 5 trading sessions as I see right now. 3,600, 3,650 is the range. And possibly a breakout is being cited around 3,660 on the upside. If it does, you can see the momentum pick up till 3,725. So yes, it's definitely on the buy list. Consider buying it at the current rate, preempting a breakout. Your stop loss will be 3,600.
Right.
At the broader market, Sakshi, now the Nifty is up 10 and 21,461. Remember, yesterday's high, which is Friday's high, was 21,493. If it takes that out, then of course we will again be back in that super bullish phase. Let's just look at the broader markets. Why I tell you that is very heavy buying is now visible across the board in all Adani stocks, which essentially means that the trading momentum of the market is now coming back. I am just refreshing my stats here. Okay, Sakshi, we started on a negative note, but now bulls are on the forefront on Dalal Street. 1264 stocks are moving up on National Stock Exchange compared with 673. So advanced decline is 2:1. When we had opened, all 19 indices, just two were in the green, Nifty Auto and Nifty Pharma. Now, at least 9 indices are in the green. The Pharma index is still the top gainer. And what's more interesting, Sakshi, the second top gainer is NSE Small Cap 100 Index, which basically means it's all now back to very strong buying in small caps. Again, I'd like to mark the Adani set of stocks. Very strong move coming in Ambuja Cement, 530 for you, 1.4% higher. Adani Ports a percent higher, 1087. Adani Enterprises has changed a digit now in the 3000 zone, 3018 up 1%. Remember, all this is happening on very strong volume. But let's focus on pharma. And Sakshi's already marked Zydus Life. I'd like to take Akshay's view on a couple of pharma stocks where you see very strong volume coming in, Sakshi, and that's the clue where action is. Let me just point in the F&O space where strong volume is. Zydus and Lupin, of course. What else is moving on volume? Sun Pharma for you, Akshay, 1.2% higher, 1257, moving towards a record high. Your view on this one?
From the pharma space, Sun Pharma would be my top bet from a trading perspective. Most of the pharma pack, if you see, have been subdued in the last rally, recent rally, which we have seen in the Nifty index. So pharma coming out of its shell certainly means that the index might get into a time correction very soon. So from the pharma space, Sun Pharma is staging a breakout. It's at 1253. The breakout possibly would target around 1285 to 1300 on the upside. It would be a momentum pickup. So consider buying Sun Pharma at the current rate. 1240 is a support base, which is almost near the day's low. Risk reward payoff is extremely good at the current juncture, and 1300 would be on your cards very soon in Sun Pharma.
Akshay, I wanted to take one view on HFCL, now moving to be one of the top movers in the Nifty 500 basket, 3.8% higher. Remember, Shail was pointing out that it's going to be also a telecom day, and we're looking at, say, Bharti Airtel ITI also moving up in trade, but this one is the one that's moving up the fastest in trade today, 4% higher, 77.1. What would you do?
Well, HFCL has seen a very strong bounce from its support zone of 65 to 68 levels. From a trading perspective, the targets would be around 81 to 82. But I would advise here that if you are buying this stock, keep a slightly medium-term view because the targets here are massive. This stock, from a broader term or a weekly horizon charts, if you see, it's been in a very big consolidation. 60 is the base, 90 has been the upside end of the resistance band, and this is all setting up well for a massive breakout from a positional perspective. So the targets which I foresee in this stock can be as high as 115 to 120. It's just that you need to give time in this trade, possibly around 3 odd months is the max time frame I see. But I would say that if you're buying it at the current rate, go for higher targets because the potential of this stock to go to 120 odd levels is significantly higher.
Okay. Akshay, let me mark SBI for you, which you had pointed out as one of your conviction buys for the day's trade right now. It's at 649 odd levels, about 0.28% lower, but the target for the day is 657 and 675 for the positional trade as well. So we will continue to monitor this one as well. Sun Pharma that you mentioned, it's now moving to be one of the top movers on the trade, 1.2% higher. But let's also talk about one more stock that's moving up in the F&O space. I did spot it from the consumer durable space again, because that is an index that's moving up. Crompton Greaves Consumer, 2% higher in the F&O space. What would you do here, Akshay?
If you look at the morning trades, it's the pharma and the FMCG or the consumer durable space, which is slowly catching up momentum back again. Clearly, the signals are that this week might be the week for these defensive bets. And as the start, that's the first day of the week, has been good for these stocks. I believe Crompton Crews is one stock where is trying to move out of its range. So right now, from the base area of 285, 290, which is the lower end of the range which it has been confined in, it's kind of trying to stage a breakout on the upside. This will take slightly more time for the breakout, but as I see the short-term targets work out to 305 to 307, so I would consider this more as a trading bet. Consider buying it for short-term. Keep a conservative target till 310. Give it 3 to 4 days of time for this target, and your stop loss on this trade would be 285.
Okay, Sakshi, let's just sort of diversify the stocks that we are marking. And I'd like to point out Steel Authority of 113.60, fairly strong momentum coming in. And across the board, Sakshi, it's a very, very nice move. It's the banks that are moving. And let's look at the PSU banking sector, where you have strong gains coming in. I'd like to mark Indian Overseas Bank 1.2% higher, 45.15. Central Bank 2.9% higher, 50.2. UCO Bank 3.8% higher, 42.25. Remember, these are very, very strong movers coming in. And I'd like to mark IDBI Bank at 68.50. Sakshi, Hindustan Aeronautics is moving, and that's now at 28.05. A decent block deal happening here. I'd rather not mention the quantity. The others on the move are Laurus Labs 398.30, Mastech 28.50, and of course Ipca Labs 11.29. I am purposely marking different stocks in different sectors to give you a flavor of where the market is moving. The Nifty again slips back in negative territory, 37 down, 21,418. Sakshi, what are you watching?
The railway stocks, they're on the move again, Shail. So let me take Akshay's view on those as well. Ircon International, IRCTC, RVNL, they're all on the move right now. Which stock actually gives you the most conviction buy, price at this point in time as far as charts are concerned, Akshay?
Well, on the charts, the best would be IRCTC. This stock clearly has seen a strong breakout of a possible double bottom bullish pattern. This breakout was seen last week at the levels of 770. So the momentum is clearly on in this stock, and the targets from a positional perspective of this pattern, which I mentioned, work out till around 925 to 950. From a momentum chasing perspective, your support base would be 770, and from a short term, that's for the coming week, you can easily see targets till 820 to 825. So IRCTC is the top bet from the railway pack, and consider it buying at the current rate for targets of 825 if you are a short-term trader, and bigger targets till 950 with a time horizon of 1.5 to 2 months.
Fair enough. Shell was pointing out how small caps, there's a lot of buying happening. The small cap 100 index is right now by 0.5%. And apart from the sugar space, something that Mr. Prabhakar pointed out, Zensar Tech is now the top mover. It's 6% higher in trade from the small cap 100 basket. So that is how you see, experts really pick out those stocks that also give you both short-term and medium-term returns as well. Zensar Tech is the one that's moving higher. HFCL we've already discussed. Tata Teleservices, that's up by 4.5% again in trade today, following on that entire telecom move. From the banking space, you have Central Bank of India that's moving higher in trade. Then you also have VIP Industries that's moving up, Graphite India, Affle India, IDBI Bank also moving up in trade as well. Anything from the banking space that strikes you, Akshay, at this point in time? We're talking about a whole host of IDBI Bank that's moving up, Central Bank of India that's moving up in trade, Bank of Maharashtra. These are the stocks that are moving up in trade again.
Well, if you look at the momentum in the opening trades in the banking space, these banks with the small prices, that is UCO Bank, all the bank names with price below 100 rupees, somehow they are gaining traction. UCO Bank, you name it, Central Bank of India. So I would be keen on chasing such banks if you are keen on cash stocks for the short-term trading. So first, Central Bank. This is a range breakout in the opening trades, a very strong momentum pickup, classical inverse head and shoulder breakout, which gives you a target till 56. So Central Bank is the top pick among these banks with smaller price levels. Second would be UCO Bank here. UCO Bank is currently trading at 42. A similar kind of pattern, a range breakout seen at 41 in the opening trades. This promises you a target till 46 to 48. So this would be the second bank you can consider buying from a momentum chasing perspective.
Okay, let's look at the metal pack now, Sakshi. Steel Authority is moving. Tata Steel is moving 137.30. A decent block deal of 66 lakhs. Remember, this is the first trade on this one, or the large one. Hind Copper 192.50. This is moving as far as metals pack is concerned. Let's drill a bit deeper. Hindalco 561.20. The point I'm trying to make is that sectors have started to move in sync. We started with the pharma space, then IT came up, and now it's the turn of metals to sort of take the momentum forward. Let's look at the metal space in a very different format. Actually, I'll share with you a lot of screens when I am in office next. What is moving? National Aluminium. Akshay, to you. This one was the top gainer in F&O metal space on Friday. Your view on National Aluminium? 112.80.
Nalco has been firing on all cylinders. Last week, if you see from 95 odd levels to 112, that's a very strong up move. Clearly, the momentum is very strong. The F&O space is also signaling possible targets till 125, where the highest call writing bets are positioned. So I will be keen for targets on till 125 in Nalco. From a trading perspective or short term for the next couple of days, maybe you see targets till 116. But I would recommend consider slightly bigger targets. 125 should surely be on with a time horizon of 8 to 10 trading sessions. Support base is 105. Hold or consider it buying at current rates for a target of 125.
Right.
Okay, the big daddy is also moving. Jindal Steel and Power. Sakshi, I'd just like to mark this one for a moment, please. The low for today was 708. The stock is at 729. And one more stock that's moving is from a brokerage and investment banker, where we get a lot of guests from, JM Financial Services, 103.25. Very, very strong move happening here. This is the highest since August of 2021, Sakshi. Very, very strong block deals. 1.4 crores worth 1,36,000 shares. 3.56 crores worth 3.43 lakhs shares. And the big boy is moving, Sakshi, Reliance Industries 2111. Days high for you. What are you watching? SBI is moving. Days high for you 651.40. Crisis of plenty again.
Yeah, Absolutely, Shell. And, of course, from the mid-cap space also, a lot of winners now contributing. We did touch base on Lupin, Laurus Labs. Now, even, other stocks apart from this, Bharat Dynamics, that's 3% higher in trade. We have auto stocks and auto ancillaries now moving up. Sona BLW Precision, 3% higher. Samvardhana Motherson, half odd percent higher in trade. Tube Investments, about 0.2% higher. Bosch is moving up, 1% higher in trade. We also have, Syngene that's moving up 1.5% higher. Even Paytm, that's up by 1%. After a long haul, I'm looking at Paytm also picking up pace. Would you track, Akshay, Paytm and tell us, is there momentum to be chased here?
Uh, the problem with Paytm is it's lost momentum after
Mm.
the significant breakdown or the sell-off below the 720 levels. So it
Yeah.
is more about bottom fishing kind of a stock. Still, considering the kind of selling which the stock witnessed last week, it will take its sweet time to first form a possible support or a bottom, and then consider a breakout. So this stock would be a slow mover. I would prefer chasing stocks where momentum is. The support for Paytm somewhere is roughly around 550 to 570 odd levels. So I'm not very sure about buying this at the current rate, because you will not be getting momentum in this as soon as you buy it. It will take its own sweet time, as I mentioned. So it's more of a time correction right now it is in. So I would give it a miss.
Okay. Akshay, tell us, one view on these metal counters that are moving up in the F&O space now. Apart from SAIL, that was already mentioned by Shell, we are also looking at now Vedanta moving up in trade. It's up by almost 2 odd percent higher. Would you look at this one and Hindalco, for example, that's also moving up in trade. Any of these stocks also interest you? Hind Copper as well, 3% up.
Vedanta would be my top pick here. The reason is technically inverse head and shoulder bullish pattern has been noted in this stock at the levels of 250. So your trading targets work out till 275 to 280. Also from a positional or a monthly perspective, a very strong double bottom formation is seen at 220, which gives you a target till 325. So a lot of upside potential is seen in this stock. Clearly the momentum is picking on. It has not picked up pace as yet as compared to the other metal stocks, but surely should be on your list, where momentum can just surprise you on the upside. So consider buying Vedanta. Your target area you work with is 290 for short term and 325 from a slightly medium term perspective.
Okay, let's look at Sakshi stocks that have hit all-time high in the NSC 500 space, and they are, how should I say, low ticket, high beta. There are hardly any today, but still, let me mark some of them. Okay, IRB 4250, 42.50, 4.3% higher. GE Shipping 1.5% higher, 913. BEL 1.5% higher, 171.50. Adani Ports 1084, half a percent higher. Tata Motors flat, 732.60. Bajaj Auto is there, 2.5% higher, 64.27. Sakshi, I think we'll have to take on Bajaj Auto because the percentage rise is fairly good, and I am sure in the auto space it is amongst the volume buzzers. Yes, 50% of daily 5-day average is already done, 2.28 lakh shares. Akshay, your view on Bajaj Auto?
Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp are the top picks from the two-wheeler auto space. Again, momentum chasing stock, all-time high levels, got past its prior day's high point. So clearly, this stock is going for targets of 6,600 odd levels from the short-term perspective. Consider holding it or even as a fresh buy at the current zone. Support is 6,300 and the target would be 6,600. Here, Maruti would be one stock you can consider from a risk reward perspective, because this stock has not moved much, but is at its support base of 10,200 from the auto space. An underperformer, so maybe if the momentum catches up or you're looking for laggards in the auto space which might perform going ahead, Risk reward is pretty good at the current rate. Support of 10,200, a recovery can target 10,700.
Okay, Akshay, a very quick view on Reliance Industries. I know it doesn't respect technical calls, but just maybe a chart check.
Yeah, chart check is excellent in Reliance Industries. The opening has been good. The last few days, the momentum has been good. Long additions are prevalent in the futures and options space. Targets of 2,600 are on in Reliance. From a short-term perspective, 2,550, that's more of a momentum chasing target. But I believe this 2,600 to 2,630, these are the targets you should be working with for the December series itself. So consider buying Reliance. Hold if you have. 2,650 is the target you should soon see in Reliance.
Okay. Akshay, can you talk about a few chemical names as well? You know, from the 500 basket, we've been tracing this fertilizer chemical base, basket stocks from last 2 weeks. There has been periodic momentum there. Now I'm looking at a stock which is Fine Organic Industries, up by 4% in trade today. Balaji Amines, that has been a mover in the last week as well. 3% higher in trade for this one too. Any of these stocks that interest you at this point in time?
Fine Organics, which you mentioned, is a very good pick. This is very sound on a technical charts, a possible double bottom in the making, which promises a target till 5,200. So that's more of a positional target, maybe with a time horizon of 1.5 to 2 months. But those targets should be on. The probability looks high. So 4,400 is the immediate support base from a trading perspective. That is the support you should consider. Give it slightly more time and you should see 5,200 being achieved within a time horizon of 1.5 to 2 months.
Okay, fair enough. The other space that has been clearly buzzing today is the entire oil and gas space, and we did hear Mr. Prabhakar talk about a lot of names from the gas space like MGL, Gas Authority, GAIL, and all of these stocks are actually moving up. We now have Petronet as the top mover in the oil and gas space, 1.5% higher. GSPL up by 1.1%. Mahanagar Gas up by 1%. IOC 1% higher. Of course, Reliance, we've talked about. GAIL, Gujarat Gas, Indraprastha Gas, all moving up in trade. Your top bet from this space, Akshay, technically?
Technically, first would be Reliance because it's a momentum driven market and you should be where the momentum is considering the overbought nature of the market. So, yes, definitely Reliance, the targets which we discussed a couple of minutes back. The second stock here which interests me is Gas Authority of India Limited. Again, another momentum pick here. It's broken past its prior swing high of 135 with strong momentum. Long additions are prevalent in the futures and options space. And clearly, this targets of 160 plus is what GAIL promises us. Support base is 140. So GAIL would be the second stock which I would consider in the power in this gas space.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at 9:53, and a lot of action has happened over the past 30 odd minutes. Strong momentum coming into what is low ticket, high beta, mostly PSU stocks. Look at IRCTC. In terms of how the index is moving, it's the day for big daddies, and therefore you have a record high on Bajaj Auto. It's the top gainer in the auto space, not only in the F&O but also on the Nifty. What else is interesting is that Reliance has started to contribute, and that basically means that the Nifty will now be sort of managed by RIL in terms of not letting it fall too much. So Reliance at the moment 25-26 for you, and it is constantly coming on my intraday high list. That's what is interesting. Sakshi had taken the view on IRCTC at 780. It is now breached 800, which is really interesting because I'd like to see what is the record high on IRCTC. I believe it's no, it's very, very far off. Let's pause our horses. There is nothing out of the ordinary. It's just an intraday move. So 801, 91, 95. Akshay, would you sort of want to revisit the view on IRCTC?
Yeah, absolutely a positive view, which I maintain and continue to maintain. 825 is where I consider from maybe a day trading or a very short term perspective. I would say hold this stock. This stock promises you bigger targets. A positive breakout has already been seen last week. These targets work out till 925. So consider bigger targets. This would be rewarding. 925 is the target you should be working with.
Okay. Akshay,
Okay, what else is moving? Adani Ports 1091. Sakshi, yours. Go ahead. Mark Adani Ports, two block deals, 1.3 crores, 1.6 crores, and 63 lakhs. Yours, Sakshi.
right, absolutely. The Adani Group stocks are actually moving very, very sharply. Now, Adani Ports is among the top 5 gainers on the Nifty, 1.3% higher in trade. Of course, following it is Adani Enterprises as well. That's half odd percent higher. Ambuja Cements is moving up very, very sharply from this entire pack as well. Adani Green is also moving up in trade as well. Akshay, your top bet from the Adani Group stocks?
Adani Enterprise is what you can consider over Adani Ports and other stocks from the Adani Group. Here, I believe the momentum is on, and there is a lot of more ground to catch up with for Adani Enterprise. Right now, at the levels of 3014, you can consider targets of 3400 from a medium-term time horizon of maybe 15 trading sessions. So 3400 is the target you can work with. Support base is 2800, and I maintain a positive view on Adani Enterprises.
Fair enough. Well, with that, thanks a lot, Akshay, for spending all that time with us on Business Today Television. It's always great to speak to you and share, such wisdom with all our viewers is always appreciated. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the markets. The Nifty right now, 20 points lower at 21,434. So, slight downtick coming in on the benchmark index level. What has picked up is that small caps and mid caps are back into the green. Sectors is healthcare as the key theme. Metals, consumer durables, autos follow next from the sectors. But it's clearly a day that belongs to the sugar stocks, with Balrampur Chini still higher by 5 odd percent. EID Perry up by 4 odd percent as well. You have Sri Renuka Sugar, Dhampur Sugar, all of them up and reacting to the news flow right there as well. Shail, what are you watching out for?
Sakshi, I say this very often and I know you are getting bored stiff, but there is a crisis of plenty. There is so much moving. We've tracked Bajaj Auto 6485, IRCTC 20 seconds ago when you marked was 801. Now 807.55. Gujarat Gas is moving. Container Corporation is 1.3% higher, 871. Purposely, I am giving you different names from separate sectors. And that's the reason why you have a momentum across the board. I think today is not a nifty day, although RIL, State Bank of India, Infosys, TCS are being used to sort of manage the Nifty's fall very gracefully, and I mean that with all respect, because you need to see some kind of a correction coming in at this level, even if it is a very mild bout of profit booking. Let's look at the advanced decline ratio within the Nifty, and see, this is interesting. Only 22 stocks are up versus 28 that are down, and within the index heavyweight space of 12 stocks, 8 are in the red and only 4 are up, and the 4 that are up are Reliance, Bajaj Finance, State Bank of India. Actually, I think we'll have a day of consolidation today. What's moving is things like Gujarat Gas 455 for you, IRTC, Adani Ports, Bajaj Auto. These are the stocks which are in an uptrend. Sakshi, to you, index minus 28, 21, 430. Nothing to be worried about. Remember, we are tracking the 21,400 put for you, which expires on December 21. Bank Nifty 255 points lower, 47,884. The IT index 0.5% lower, 35,607. Sakshi.
Absolutely. We'll now start wrapping up the market as well, and in this edition Of course, Bajaj Auto, top gainer, 3% higher. Eicher Motors follows, 1.5% up in trade. From the pharma pack, it's Sun Pharma and Dr. Reddy's. And also Divis Laboratories, the three top movers from the healthcare pack. Adani Ports, Reliance Industries, Bajaj Finance, Titan and Hero MotoCorp. These are the top 10 movers as far as the Nifty is concerned. Nifty Bank is slightly down in trade, 47,897, half odd percent lower in trade right now. So the banking counters are actually taking the backseat when it comes to the big banks. But of course, it's the PSU banking space that still shines through, the lower ticket banking names that continue to move up higher. And of course, from the Nifty 500 basket, Balrampur Chini, Fine Organics, HFCL, IRB Infra, Central Bank of India, EID Perry, Balaji Amines, and also IRCTC and Bharat Dynamics that are moving up in trade as well. So today, when below the surface is a lot of action continues, and we will continue to monitor this action for you through this trading action. So stay with us on Business Today Television. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also continue to engage with us on our other social media platforms as well. Until then, many thanks. It's a goodbye from the morning edition from both Shail and me.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
I believe that the role of the telecommunication is and will be to empower people and societies to do and connect what matters the most for them. And that has been the mantra that Telenor has been building and really working on connecting every single person in the globe. That's why we even came to India to do that. And we see that technologies, mission, new technologies, are basically empowering in order to